It's a dramatic twist in market strategy for Africa's oil giant. Nigeria has been on the forefront among OPEC members, pushing for a production freeze to stabilize global oil prices. But traders have been complaining about inconsistent supply of crude from Nigeria and that the country's oil prices were not competitive to retain oil dealers. Persistent militant attacks on Nigeria's oil infrastructure in the Niger Delta drastically cut the country's output to 2 decades low. And that meant Nigeria struggled to sustain its commitment to oil refineries, in some cases losing market shares to competitive suppliers. Now the government's been trying to negotiate with militants and some of the vandalized infrastructure have been repaired. So with anticipated recovery in output, NNPC is using the price reduction to win back some shares in the oversupplied market.
America produces shale. Shale is sweet crude. Shale is light crude as well too. Okay, so there's so much sweet crude in supply. For Nigeria to keep on competing in the market, Nigeria has to reduce prices so that its crude will remain competitive. The market right now is sort of switched. It's no longer in favor of sweet crude. It's not in favor of heavy crude.
Nigeria's oil production is expected to recover to near 2 million barrels per day by next month. The NNPC has already said it cannot sustain production freeze supported by some OPEC members.
Within OPEC, it's quite clear that Nigeria is kind of a bit different because, like I said earlier, it's clear that in OPEC, the larger percent of production in OPEC is for heavy crude, okay, which is in demand, which is why if OPEC takes a decision to freeze that heavy crude supply in the market, it will affect crude oil prices. But for Nigeria, who sells light sweet crude, which is surplus in quantity, it's a different dynamic. So while they know that an output freeze for Nigeria won't necessarily change prices for Nigeria, it's better for Nigeria to actually reduce prices so that it can push more of its output.
Nigeria is facing its worst economic recession in 29 years due to a slump in oil prices, with the Brent crude, the international benchmark for oil, trading at $51.62 per barrel. Nigeria is expected to sell at a price much lower than the global market price to fetch enough revenue to recover from an economic recession. Kelechi Emekalam, CCTV Abuja, Nigeria.